end the scene right here. So we'll just hard cut here, and then they'll come to here. They'll walk out here, and then we use this background right here. Where the fuck's my drink?
I think we're gonna cut when we say
scheduling. Working around people's schedules. Okay, so I do a lot of this. Okay, when it comes to working around schedules, the first thing you gotta do is you wanna start with the main talent or the biggest talent first. Those are the ones you need to work around schedule-wise. The DP, camera, the main actors. That's where you start. You work your way down. If other people can't comply to that, you get rid of them and you replace them. Or you figure out a way to work around it. Whether it's weekends, you find out what works best for them. I always do this. I've never had a problem. Have I ever had a problem with people not showing up? I don't think I've ever had a problem with people not showing up or getting scheduling. What was one of the biggest ones I had hurdles with? I don't know. I'm usually pretty good about scheduling. So just find out their schedule first. Put it all down on a piece of paper. Boom, boom, boom. This person can do this day. This person can do that day. You start working it out, and then you build your schedule around that. The main people. Weekends, weeknights, during the week, at night, during the day. Whatever works for them, make it work for them. Especially if they're on like no budget and shit like that. If you're paying them handsomely, find somebody else.
Biggest problem is staying within the realm of what I know I can physically and financially do.
That just doesn't make sense to me. What do you have access to? We preach it all the time. I got a piece of paper. I'm gonna make a movie about a paper airplane.
You should.
It sounds pretty. Actually,
yeah.
I kind of like the idea.
Actually, it can be called Paper Airplane.
Paper
like
Airplane.
The film can be called Paper Airplane.
Boom.
So maybe you actually have a house if you're living somewhere, or maybe you're living under a bridge. That's fine too. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? If you're living on a bridge, fine. You can actually make a movie under a bridge. So maybe they're hanging out and throwing this paper airplane around, and they're like, "Hey, look at me, look at me." Boom. You know. So what do you have access to? The biggest thing when we dive into a project is like, what do we actually have access to? What are we able to create on a budget that we have? So if we say we're going in and we're going to do this on $500, okay. So we need a camera. Okay, we have that. We don't got to pay for that. We got to feed people. It's not that much money, so we'll just get less people. So maybe do 1 or 2 actors. Maybe just shoot them out quick in 3-4 days. Maybe do like a web series. Maybe not do a full film. Maybe do an actual web series or something. Maybe 12 minutes, 3. Put that on Amazon. Maybe that could work. We'll keep it around our house. So it's just diving in, using what you have. Resources. What do you have?
What cameras do you got? What cars do you have? What bikes do you have? What houses do you have? What does your crew have access to? What do your actors have access to? What do your friends have access to? Hey, shut that phone up! I know! Scam likely! So use what you have. It's very simplistic. The only thing I can think of is when what could possibly be holding you back is you're being overly, you think you need more rather than less. So just pull it back. See what you can do with basic things. Me and Jake are at a point now where we can take toothpicks and build a house. So if you give us a house, we're going to build a castle. All right? So take the minimal you got, figure out how to make it work. Make it work. Make it work. Make it work. Make it work.
like nah.
Why
would you be over there?
I'm going to be more over here
Why?
because I can't get above there. Or depending on your framing.
Yeah.
Can I get you guys to like, on your mark, let's see where you want to land?
Do you want us coming in?
Yeah, just come in and land where you feel like you should land. Schedule and locations. We'll fix this problem very easy, right? We'll fix this problem very easy with the locations, right? Just one location. Just why not? Just one location. You're writing your script. You're just writing around one location. And as you're doing the film, and as you're breaking down the script, you're writing around the one location that you have access to, right? So if I'm writing a film, I'm in my apartment. I know I have access to the apartment. I'm not going to lose that location, right? So I'm writing the script around what I have, which is in my apartment. So as I'm keeping that in mind, I'm writing around what I have, which is actually my apartment. And then when we go to do the film, it's all set in our apartment, right? So we're shooting this film, and it's inside the apartment, so it's easy to film. You know, we're not going to lose that location, so we don't have to worry about that. It's in our apartment. We live there, we pay the rent there. We'll just shoot in our apartment. So, you know, at that point, I think it's just, you're trying to write the script, you got to get creative around what you have. So, like, maybe somebody's held hostage in the apartment. I mean, you're writing around the apartment, so what could actually happen in the apartment?
Maybe some friends move in, and it's called Friends, the apartment series.
Right. So I would use my apartment. That handles and scheduling, right? So when you're scheduling that, you know that's the location. It's in your apartment, and you're scheduling all these people, but you really only have 1 or 2 actors, and they're down, right? They're down to do it. So if you do have to replace them, you're not replacing 10 people. You're just replacing 2, you know. And it's in one location. It's in your apartment. You're shooting the damn thing in your apartment. You have that location, and it's in your apartment, right? You make a cool film in your apartment, and you get a film done. You actually have a feature film done. It's made in your apartment.
If you say apartment one more time, just slap shit out of
So
you.
shoot the damn thing in your apartment.
I mean, it just said it like a million times in there. What do you have access to? Keep it, because if you start writing things in there you don't have access to, when you go to try to shoot there, it falls through. Now you're scrambling to find something to fill in that gap. Your production has your production is burdened by it, and it brings down the production value because you're flustered. The team's flustered. So we're keeping it in an apartment. Where's the apartment at? Use the apartment, right? We always wrote around what we have. When we made our first feature films, second feature films, third feature films, TV series, it's all about what we have access to, and then scheduling with that because we have access to it.
You have to
Bedroom
cover the
and-
room, yeah, the entrance wood. Yeah.
We'll do this one first.
When you say red or white, do it kind of like what else isn't.
Yeah.
Red,
Shot
white,
with Zach.
blue,
Let's get you all over here, and let's feel it out. Let's see what feels natural with you two.
So funding, I'm seeing funding. I need funding. I gotta get funding. It's my first film. I gotta get funding. I have to get funding. I need funding for I need funding. Like, I have to have funding. If I don't have funding, I can't make the film. If I don't have funding, I can't make the film. Do you need funding to make a film? Do you actually need funding to make a movie? Do you need money to make a movie?
Do you? You don't need money.
You need funding, right?
You got a camera, right? We got audio gear. Technically, we could make a movie. We're making a movie right now, right? How do you enhance it? How can you use this, us, and whatever we have access to make a movie? A phone, audio gear. You don't need funding. And if you need a few dollars, go to fucking work, make some extra money, and make your movie. We don't wait for other people to give us money to make anything, and that has always worked for us. When you have to wait for somebody to give you something in order to do something, you're being reactive rather than proactive. We are very proactive. If we don't have the money, figure out how to get it. If we can't get the money, we just shoot it anyways. And do what we can.
And we're not perfect, right? Like, we fall off. Like, we have these thoughts of like, oh, like, we're gonna make this, or like, do we really need, you know, maybe we think we need 10 grand to make the movie, right? 50 grand to make the movie. And then we really think about it. It's like, what do we have access to? What do we have access to? What are we able to create right now? Do we need to go make the $500,000 movie right now? What do we have access to? We have a studio. We got a studio with this. We have a studio. Okay, yeah, we have a studio. Maybe we can like film something with the camera in the studio. Maybe we can do a full show. We can call it Share Your Scare. We'll just film it in the studio. We'll spend 2 days shooting it, all in the studio. We'll just shoot it in the studio. We'll shoot a full show in the studio. We have access to the studio. We know we're not gonna lose that location. We got the camera already. Like, let's do that. We should totally do that. And then that's what we did. How do you get your film distributed? How do you distribute it? So how do you distribute it? How do you actually distribute your movie? You have a movie finished. You have your movie, it's done. How do you actually get it out there? How do you get it out there? How are people going to see it? You know? How do you get your film out there? Okay, let's think about it. There's Facebook, there's YouTube, Amazon's purging everybody. We could try to put it up there. You could put it up there, right? What else is up there? I mean, there's distributors. There's these conferences you could go to. You could try to and then people are like, oh no, I don't want your film. Your film sucks. You're like, fuck. Do I have a good enough film? Do I even have a good enough film? Fuck. And you're like searching for the answer. You're like, where's the answer? Where is it? How do I get distributed? How do you get distributed?
There's many platforms to get it distributed.
I don't know.
There's many platforms to get it distributed. He just mentioned all of them. What works best for the content you produce? What do you want off of this content? Do you want to make some money? Do you want to get just brand recognition? There's people putting stuff on YouTube. Do you want people to see your movie? You put it on YouTube? I mean, are you going to sell off your website? You going to sell it off your website? Do DVDs? Like, what? Are you going to sell VHS tapes? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck do you
old
want?
School. Yo, that's old school, bro.
I know, but there's people that sell them. Remember that grindhouse
Oh, dude,
shit?
there is, yeah.
What's your...
People do that.
What is your genre? What is it? I see people selling VHS tapes at these Comic-Cons and shit. DVDs still. These very niche-y, genre-based movies. So you got to figure out what's going to work best for your content. Is it a theater movie? Does it have Tom Cruise in it? That's a fucking theater movie. I mean, is it Bird Box? Can you put it on Netflix? Can you go to Amazon Prime? You looking to make some money back? Is it a decent show? Like, what is your prerogative with it? What do you want to get out of it? Maybe
it's just meant for YouTube. Maybe it's meant to cut it up and put it on Facebook. Maybe it's just to be like, hey, I actually finished a movie. Congratulations for me. I did it. Like, I did a good job, right? And then do another one, right? Festivals, if you think Distributors.
If they don't want your movie, then you just upload it to Prime. Get what you can out of it.
Yeah, just put it on Prime. Why not just put it on there? Put it on YouTube. Put it on Instagram, Facebook. Just put it on those things. Let people see it, right? They'll tell you. You'll know if it's good or not. Like, you'll know. Let's see what else we got here. Just profit. Making a profit.
Don't overspend. That's the biggest problem with budgets nowadays. From what I'm seeing, is if your movie don't have names and it's not made with high production value, you don't need to be spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on this project. Okay? You got to get a name in it. I mean, or you do like we do, and you self-fund it. You treat it as a mini business, and you put together a brand recognized product without the name to make a profit back. I don't know, something about a scary story. Ooh, people love scary stories. Ouija boards. People love Ouija boards. Maybe we can do something with that. What about haunted locations? Ooh, people love haunted locations, right? I don't know. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. I don't fucking know. But we found a nice little niche that we preach to you guys, and that's make a project, keep the budget very low, give it high production value, find your niche, target that niche, and put some money in your pockets.
Yeah.
Where it feels natural, and I will play with that. That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's the thing right there. Like, you know what you need to do? You know what you need to do? You need to go make a film on $1,000. Like, you need to go fucking make a film on $1,000. That's what you need to do. Go fucking make your film on $1,000. Don't be fancy.
You're yelling at me.
Don't be fancy. You're not Hollywood
Why
yet.
are you yelling at me?
You're not Hollywood yet.
You're in Jollywood debt.
You're in Jollywood debt. So go make your film on $1,000. Why? Why would somebody even make a film on $1,000? Like, probably piece of shit anyways. You know? Why would you make a film on $1,000?
Because the budget's low and we can.
Why not make it for $500,000?
Doesn't make sense to me. Does it make sense to you?
But what if you have capability of actually getting it distributed?
Sure, yeah.
And if you don't You just made it for $1,000.
I mean, make sure you get the right name on it. Make sure you're working with a distributor to get a name attached to it, that they can say, hey, this will make you $1 million, or this will make you $600,000-700,000. So those are things you want to play out as you're playing with that type of money. That's the risk you take.
But the only way to get there is actually by like doing it, right? I mean, you can't really, you really don't know those questions unless you've actually been there and done it. How would you know those questions? How would you know those questions even, if you never made anything, how would you know? How would you know?
I don't know.
We didn't know. That's why
don't know.
That's why we had to make something, right? You know, we had to just go make it for like $1,000. Like let's just make it, see what happens. And then we lit the thing. We lit it like a porno. It looked like a porno.
Hey, that movie looked really good. It's a really good porno lit movie.
Looks awesome.
Go look it out. You see what porno lit looks like. Alcatraz Massacre.
So that's what we did. You know, we just made it, and then we made another one, and then we started making some shows. We're like, all right, so it's good. We started, you know, trying to get it distributed. Couldn't really get it distributed, so we put it on Amazon. That worked out pretty good. You know, got some numbers on it. Started going to these conventions.
We got it distributed.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We distributed our stuff. Think about what distribution is. Distribution is just getting it to a audience. So technically, Amazon, you are a distributor. It's just the audience you're going to hit. Are you going through a distributor other than Amazon, a middleman for a distributor? They're going to get you on more platforms. We partnered with a distributor with Terror Talk, but we kept our Amazon rights. So that's up to you, my peeps. Figure it out. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want out of the deal? What are you looking for out of the deal? Are you looking to make your money back? Are you looking to get a name? Are you looking to get your name out there? Are you going to hit the festival circuit? What do you want out of the project?
Can I get you in here, Zach? Maybe put your, maybe I'll get your shoulder. You want to stand right there? I'll probably get your, connect you guys with the shoulder. So like, somebody comes to us and they have like, I have this great idea, or they go to the conferences and they go to these film festivals and they have this, like, they have the best idea. They have amazing ideas. It's the best, right? It's the best idea. But they're left with just that idea. That's kind of all they have, like, is the idea, and they're trying to get it like picked up. Like, they want somebody else to go produce their idea, like their vision, their idea, but they want somebody else to go produce it. I have this great idea. Can you help me produce it?
Sure, big guy.
Oh, cool. So, boom, there we go. Right? I asked him to produce it, and he's down.
99% on board.
He's 99% on board. So, that's what it's about. You know. You know, you got this idea. Do you want someone else to produce your idea? Can someone even execute your idea the way you want it to be executed? What do you think? He's got nothing. Shut that computer up.
It's a new computer.
That's all I got in ideas. Just go fucking make your idea.
Go make your idea. An idea means nothing without execution. So if you've got a good idea, make a creative, simplistic idea and execute the idea, even if it's on your phone. My phone, you know? Because you can make a sizzle out of this with your phone that gets attention if it's compelling, depending on what you want. If you want a big network to pick your stuff up, then that's what you need to do. For us, it's a little different. We want to keep control of our content, so we're not so much worried about a network taking over our content or buying our content. We're interested in owning our content and building our network. That makes sense. So I think we're looking at it from a little bit of a different level, or a little bit of a different mind state than being paid for content, rather than just getting our content to the consumer and letting them decide on what they think of it. So produce the idea. The quicker you get to that idea and you get it out and out of your head, you actually get to see if this idea is relevant. You get to see if this idea takes shape and actually is as good as you think it is. Because sometimes when you say your idea out loud to a room full of people, you go, that's not a good idea. Shit. I've been sitting on this idea for 2 years. Fuck. And I just said it out loud to a room full of people. And it doesn't sound like a good idea.
It doesn't sound like a good idea to you.
Maybe to them.
It doesn't sound like maybe.
Because if it goes... That was a weak-ass chirp. It's a weak-ass chirp.
Cuckoo.
But ultimately, you have to decide. Create your idea, put your idea out there, put it on camera, release it. That's what we do every fucking day, putting these videos out. These are our ideas. Hey, some of it's whacked out of our fucking mind, but they're our ideas.
Blaster.